Ever walk away from a girl feeling like she just hacked your vibe like a cheap Wi-Fi network? Not your wallet, not your time, something way worse. Your power. Like she just scanned you with her eyeballs, stole your mojo, and left you wondering why your best jokes landed like a dad at a rave. And the worst part, she didn't even say anything. Just sipped her drink and somehow won. How? Because silence is her secret weapon, and you just handed her the launch codes. Here's the science they don't teach in bro school. Women aren't fooled by words, they're fooled by presence. And evolution figured this out way before you learned to mansplain. Society tells guys to talk louder, flex harder, buy fancier shoes. But nobody told you the real alpha move is shutting up. Yeah, silence. The ultimate flex. Imagine a lion watching a bunch of hyenas yap. He doesn't yell back. He just licks his paw and waits for them to tire out. That's you, but with less fur and better credit. Most dudes think dominance means talking big. Wrong. True dominance starts when you stop talking, because speech is for people who need to prove something. The guy who's always explaining, he's already losing. Nietzsche knew this. He said, "The voice of beauty speaks softly." Translation: if Beyonce doesn't scream, why are you? Power whispers. And if you're still shouting, you're basically a car alarm annoying and easy to ignore. Fun fact: a study in psychological science found women are way better at reading nonverbal cues than men. So if your vibe screams needy, she'll smell it before you even open your mouth. But if your energy says I'm good either way, you become the human equivalent of a Rubik's Cube, frustratingly intriguing. Women don't fall for what you say. They fall for what you tolerate. They're watching how fast you double text, how much you bend, how quick you are to trade your dignity for a crumb of attention. And guess what? None of this requires words. It's all in the vibe check. Nature made women the ultimate chess players. Men rule with muscles and logic. Women rule with vibes and absence. Trying to outsmart a woman with words is like bringing a Nerf gun to a drone strike. Spoiler: you're gonna lose. So, how do you win? Stop being the guy who needs a participation trophy from her. The one who panics when she leaves him on read. The one who writes a novel in her DMs when she ghosts. That guy, he's snack food. A real man doesn't explain, complain, or chase. He just walks away not to play games, but because he's got a life. And that silence, it's louder than your cringy pickup lines. Because women fear one thing more than ghosts: a man they can't figure out. When you stop reacting to her tests, her silence, her drama, something wild happens. She starts questioning herself. A man who doesn't need her approval becomes a mirror she can't Photoshop. Most women are used to guys who fold like lawn chairs at the first sign of conflict. But the guy who stays calm, who lets the silence stretch like a bad movie pause, he's the one she can't stop thinking about. Not because he tried, but because he didn't. Here's the secret. Women aren't villains, but they're not pushovers either. They're the final boss of your self-control. Most guys fail by turning into emotional support. Puppies needy, whiny, desperate. The guy who passes, he's the one who sees the game and unplugs the controller. Silence isn't just not talking, it's detachment. The ultimate power move. Imagine her insulting you and you just stare. No comebacks, no defense, just pure, unsettling calm. That silence forces her to hear her own insecurities. She's used to being the mirror, but when she sees herself reflected in your stillness, that's checkmate. Research from Harvard found people who speak less are perceived as more powerful. Why? Because silence equals mystery, and mystery equals intrigue. The loudest guy in the room isn't the alpha. He's the one terrified of being ignored. The quiet guy? He's the one everyone leans in to hear. Most men are addicted to being understood. They crave validation like it's Wi-Fi. But the moment you stop needing her approval, you become the one she can't ignore. The guy who walks away when everyone else begs to stay, he's the one she remembers. Because in a world full of noise, the quietest guy in the room is the one who stands out. This isn't about manipulation, it's about liberation. The man who doesn't need her attention is the one who gets it. The man who doesn't fear her silence is the one who controls it. And the man who walks away not to punish her, but because he values himself, that's the guy who wins. Fun fact, a University of Michigan study found women are more attracted to men who display emotional neutrality. Translation, not being a needy clown. So if you're freaking out when she pulls away, congrats, you're scientifically less attractive. Final boss level. Can you love her without needing her to love you back? Can you lose her without losing yourself? That's the ultimate flex. The guy who's free before she even walks away, he's the one who leaves a mark, not with words, but with the weight of his absence. So from now on, make your silence unbreakable. Let it be the fortress where your confidence lives. When she tries to drag you into drama, smile and walk. Not to hurt her, but to remind her you're not the guy who begs for scraps. You're the guy who owns the buffet. And if she wants a seat, she'll have to bring her own plate. And hey, if this hits you like a truth bomb, share it with the bros. Because the world doesn't need more loud guys. It needs more quiet ones who know exactly when to speak and when to let silence do the work. Now go forth, shut up, and watch the magic happen.